Yes, my cat just doesn't know when to stop. Hello, kitty. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my second vlog. This is what my cat always does when I am on the computer. I don't know why I'm singing now, but hey, how are you today? Okay, so for today's vlog, not a blog, vlog. I figure the direction I want to take these vlogs in is kind of talking about my adventures. Cutting in some pictures. I didn't have any pictures of my soccer story. I use my hand a lot, but with my cat being here, it's kind of hard. You probably also noticed the McDonald's bag right back there. Hello. Best thing about China is that I never have to cook. I just order all my food in. Yeah. Okay, getting back on topic. So, I figured the direction I want to take for my vlog is to kind of talk about the trips and adventures I've been on. And one of my favorite trips probably has been when I went to Tokyo. There was a week, I took a week off of work, and I was just feeling really burnt out, and I love Japan. I was actually born in Japan, so that's one of the things that, I feel that special connection to Japan. Yeah. And so I took a week off and I just went to Japan. I took 10 days and I only did Tokyo. I didn't go too far because it was more of a rest and relaxation vacation. I needed a break. I was stressed out at work. So I think this was right before my boss left, and I was basically doing my boss's job. At the time I was only a senior foreign trainer, but I was an acting language learning director for Disney English. And so I was basically doing a job I wasn't very well prepared for. I got some training. I kind of knew a little bit what to expect. But at the time I had 10 classes. I had a lot of stuff going on. So I was burnt out. And the day before I left for Tokyo, because my weekends are actually Tuesday, Wednesday. So on Monday, and during my Monday classes, I remember I had this one child. I'll go into another to talk about him before. But basically he pushed me. I had fallen on my foot, which was already hurting. So it kind of re-hurt the foot. So I remember remember posting this picture of my foot on my suitcase going like, I hobbled my way down here. I made it. Woo! Going to Japan. So as I'm telling this story, I'll probably be looking at some of the photos, kind of like direct my thought just to make sure, and then I'll stick some of these photos in while I'm still talking. You don't want to just see this face all day long. So I remember it was funny because I saw an advert for Tokyo Disney Resort, and I was just like, oh, that's so cool, I'm going there. And I work for Disney. Love Disney. Nah. I got in this taxi, and because let's back up, got from the airport, and I took the train into the city. I went to Narita Airport, and I remember being a little hesitant because my Japanese is not really that good. So I got on the train, and I'm like, I think I get off here. And I had directions. I had Google. I had bought a SIM card, so I could look this stuff up. So I got out, and the metro stations are so confusing to me. Like, I just did not understand. So I go out, not anywhere near where I'm supposed to be. So I stop a taxi, and this guy speaks amazing English. I expect like people my age to have the good English, because I know in Japan they have English classes, kind of like how in America we have Spanish classes. So I remember that this guy was a little bit older, and just being surprised at how good his English was. And I was just like, wow, that's awesome. I feel a lot better. So we tried to find my hostel. I stayed at the Planetize hostel. Amazing place. I loved it to bits. I definitely 5-star recommend. You should definitely go to this hostel. The pods, because that's really common in Japan, is the pod hostels. I was really nervous because I'm claustrophobic, but the pods were so big. Like, I was big enough. It was big enough for me to be able to change in there. So there were the curtains that you could pull across the front of your pod and give yourself some privacy. Everyone in there was really respectful. And that's what I find at a lot of hostels, is that everyone there is usually respectful at the hostels I've stayed at. So I went out. I just started walking. And that's one thing I love about technology, is you can just walk And by using your maps, you can easily get back to where you need to go, or even just take a taxi. I know in Tokyo, taxis are expensive, a lot more expensive than if I did it in China. And I found this place called Becker's. So Becker's is really special to me because when I went to Tokyo before with my dad when I was 18, that was one of the places we went to. So I found a Becker's. I don't think it was the same Becker's. Actually, I know it wasn't the same Becker's, but it was special to me. And I just remember that night, just again, walking. So like I walked all the way to Becker's and then I walked all the way back. And that was just like, I think in total I walked about 10 miles. I honestly don't remember. I just remember it being a massive amount of miles. And I was just like, whoa. And so that night I went out and I had my first conversation in Japanese. And I'm fluent in Chinese and I should be fluent in Japanese, but I'm not. So having my first conversation in Japanese, oh, kore wa nan desu ka? So like having stuff like that, I was able to ask like, what is this in Japanese? What is this? And being able to order in Japanese as well. And I walked around a lot. And one of the biggest things I wanted to do when I was in Tokyo was go to the Pokemon Center. I ended up going to the Pokemon Center in Mega Tokyo. And I nerded out. They were handing out these Eevee little hat things. I'll show you a picture of it. I chose Espeon because, it was so cute. And I was just, I want to say this was, it was 2017. So I think it was right before or right after Sun and Moon came out. So, I got this cute little Pikachu from the capsule machine, and just doing the capsule machines, I was obsessed with. I have never been so lucky except with the Japanese capsule machines, because anytime I was like, I want that one, that was the one I got. I was just like, yes, so lucky. I did a cat cafe. That was something I had to do. And the cats, they were a little antisocial. I sat there. I don't think I got to pet that many. Like when I went to Seoul, the cats were just all up on you. I was like, yes. So the cats were a little bit antisocial. They were playing a lot with themselves. And you could tell that there were some of the people that were there all the time. Like there was this one lady who was just sat in the middle just reading a book, and the cats would just come up. So these cats were more of like the chill about cats. They weren't really like the play. Also, they had a Gigi on their toilet, like a toilet seat cover, and I was just like, precious. I took a picture of it. Here it is. Like, I cosplay as Kiki, so having Gigi. Oh! So, walked around a little bit more. That was my thing. I just wanted to walk, just see, I've always loved Tokyo. I've always loved Japan, and just being able to see this. So I got this cute little Magikarp snack. And I actually was posting a lot to Facebook and Instagram at the time, and one of my friends from Dalian was like, are you in Tokyo right now? I was like, yeah, like I just landed. And he's like, today's my last day. So we actually met up, and it was insane meeting up with Sangho in Tokyo when we met in Dalian. So, we went to a Maid Cafe. I took some sneaky pictures, because in Maid Cafes, you're not really supposed to take pictures unless if you pay for them. But we did pay. We did pay for one of the photos. But I was like taking like sneaky, like, oh, hey, I'm just going to pretend I'm fixing my hair. It was really fun hanging out with him, reconnecting with him. So then this is a picture of all the spoils from my day just walking around Tokyo. I did sign up for a couple of tours, because that's one thing to just walk around, but you do get more of an experience from doing these tours, because you learn a little bit more than you would by just walking around yourself. So I did sign up for a tour around the city. I'd been to a couple of the places, like the Asakusa Temple. I had already done with my dad, but we got to go to Tokyo Tower, and it was really interesting. I'm afraid of heights, so in this photo where I'm above the windows, I didn't actually look down. I just did a back bend and took a picture of, from above, because last time I did a clear floor observatory in Shanghai, panic attack. We got to see a traditional tea ceremony. We also got to go to a calligraphy museum. Now, I wasn't allowed to take pictures in the calligraphy museum, but the tea ceremony was really, really cool. And they kind of explained all the steps. The green tea does tend to be a little bit more bitter, because just the way they prepare it. So we went off to have lunch, which was delicious. I love barbecue. It's just one of my favorite. And when I say barbecue, I'm not talking about American barbecue on a grill. I'm talking about like Japanese hibachi or Korean barbecue. It's just fantastic. So, you know, we had some hibachi at a really fancy hotel. It was so good. So after the hibachi, we went to the palace, which I had done with my dad again. So I actually don't have too many photos from that. We got to do a little river cruise where I got some delicious ice cream. And then we went to the Asakusa Temple. One thing that I loved about going to Tokyo with my dad, and we did a tour then and then doing this tour, is we went to a Shinto shrine in a Buddhist temple, the Asakusa Temple. And it's really interesting seeing the differences between the two. I personally love being at the temple. To me, it's so picturesque. I do feel more calm at the Shinto shrine because the Asakusa Temple has a street right in front of it where you can buy a lot of different things, like a lot of souvenirs. You can also buy some good luck charms at the temple, which, bing, here they are. And so, you know, very picturesque. I enjoyed it, but I do feel a little bit more at home when I was at the shrine, which I did not get to go on this trip. The next day I took another tour. We went up to Mount Fuji. Wind was crazy. Like my hair was just all over the place. So from Mount Fuji, we went up to the 5th station, which is actually the last stop before the actual hiking, mountaineering section. And so we had a traditional lunch, which I'm a very picky eater. For a traveler, I have a very unfortunate stomach. So we had a traditional lunch, which I did not eat much of. And as you can see here, I had some unfortunateness with my forehead. I had a band-aid, which I tried to cover up with my hair. Yay, yatta! And I didn't do the sky tram only because, again, of my fear of heights and the way the wind was going and the fog, for whatever reason, I was just not comfortable with doing. So I actually stayed down. I took some pictures at the station where we met everyone. And then we went, again, on another river cruise, except this one was so foggy. Like, at points, you couldn't see your hand in front of your face. I think this picture kind of shows a little bit about what I'm talking about, but that was crazy. So after that, I did an aquarium with a friend from college. Her name's Seta. And I won't show you any pictures of her baby, but her baby is adorable. So we went to the aquarium with her husband and her baby. And yeah, that was so exciting. Now, the biggest thing that I left out of this video was my trip to Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea. That's because this video is already long enough, and I did so much when I was in Tokyo. But the main thing about visiting a foreign city or foreign country, even just a new city that's not foreign, like if you go to another place in America, if you're from America, is just walk. Just go as far as you can and people watch. I mentioned this in my last one. I love to people watch, and this was one of the places where I love to do it the most. But just looking at the pictures, like being able to revisit, just take a lot of pictures. I know everyone is just like, oh, you know, use your mind camera and blah blah blah, but it's just one of those where even if you're not showing other people your pictures, which I've showed a couple of people these pictures, I'm showing you these pictures, but it's just for me being able to go back and revisit because I don't know the next time I can go back to Tokyo. Write down notes so you can remember what you've done and just integrate yourself as much as you can. You know, I played a lot of Pokemon Go. I can't play that here in China, so when I got to Tokyo, I was just like, yes, why wouldn't I play Pokemon Go? One of those 10 days was actually a do-nothing day, and I literally just sat at the hostel the entire day because I was just like, I need to rest. This was my rest vacation. I need to rest. I need to relax. I need to rejuvenate. And find a place that's comfortable for that. So if it's the hotel or the hostel or wherever you're staying, go there. But if you have to go out, find a coffee shop. But that entire day, I did not leave the lobby of the hostel. And I got to know the people very well at the front, and it was really nice. And I got to watch people come in and out, see kind of who else was in the hostel. And it was an amazing adventure. It was an amazing trip. I would love to go back again. I would definitely do more tours and see where else I can go. I want to go to other cities, like Osaka and Yokohama. I'd love to go back to Okinawa, which is where I was born. You should do what you want, but you shouldn't do things just because other people expect you to do them. Like, figure out what you want to do, what you'll enjoy the most. Because honestly, it's your trip, it's your memories, and you don't want to have any regrets, especially if you're going to a place where you don't know when you'll be able to go back. So that was my tale of Tokyo from 2017. I hope you enjoyed it, and I really have fun talking about this. Like, it's letting me revisit my trips. So I will see you in my next vlog. Take care. I will see you next time. Bye bye.